Hey Snapflash fam, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a monumental change in South Africa's legal landscape. Just before the historic May 27th general elections, President Cyril Ramaphosa signed a groundbreaking bill into law, making South Africa the first African nation to legalize the use of marijuana. Stick around to learn more about the Cannabis for Private Purposes Act and its implications. Did you know South Africa just became the first African country to legalize cannabis for private use? What does this mean for the nation and its people? Stay tuned to find out the details and the impact of this historic decision. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our latest updates on global news and trending topics. Let's get into it. On the eve of the May 27th general elections, which saw the ruling African National Congress lose its majority for the first time in 30 years, a major change slipped through almost unnoticed. Just one day before the historic ballot, President Cyril Ramaphosa signed the Cannabis for Private Purposes Act, making South Africa the first African nation to legalize marijuana. This bill removes cannabis from the country's list of outlawed narcotics. Adults are now free to grow and consume the plant in private, although not in the presence of children. The law also stipulates that those previously convicted for cannabis-related offenses should have their records automatically wiped clean. However, it's still unclear how this will be implemented and whether the 3,000 people currently in prison for such offenses will be released. After years of campaigning, activists like Myrtle Clark, co-founder of Fields of Green for All, a cannabis reform NGO, are celebrating this victory.
I think at the top of my list of things to say today about the signing of this bill has to be that this is the first act of parliament in South Africa to legalize the private adult use of cannabis in our land. Okay? There hasn't been any other cannabis laws passed. And this is also the first act of parliament in Africa for the adult use of cannabis. Now, this is really significant because South Africa has a responsibility to show the way. We know that Lesotho were before us when it came to medicinal cannabis. And we know by now that it is a great advantage to pass laws with regards to adult use before we pass laws with regard to medicinal use, because we can't have two sets of laws, one for those who are sick and one for those who are healthy. So let's look at the bigger picture around the signing of the bill and how South Africa can position ourselves to be continent leaders in this aspect.
Clark expressed relief that cannabis is no longer classified as a dangerous substance in South Africa, but emphasized that the fight isn't over. The next step is addressing the legal trade of cannabis, which remains illegal except for medicinal purposes prescribed by a doctor. Unlike countries such as Malta, Canada, and Uruguay, South Africa currently has no legal means for casual users to acquire cannabis unless they grow it themselves. Selling cannabis remains illegal unless it is for medicinal purposes. This means while you can legally grow cannabis in your backyard, profiting from it is still against the law. The new legislation has been 6 years in the making. Following a 2018 court ruling that private consumption of cannabis was constitutional, the government was tasked with drafting legislation to legalize it. Although the process has been lengthy and fraught with delays, the signing of this bill marks a significant milestone. Southern Africa has a long history with cannabis, known locally as Dagga. From ancient uses by the Khoisan people to colonial bans and apartheid-era crackdowns, the journey to legalization has been tumultuous. Despite past restrictions, cannabis has remained an integral part of rural economies, particularly in the Eastern Cape. The Cannabis for Private Purposes Act is a crucial first step, but many challenges lie ahead. The focus now shifts to regulating trade and overcoming societal prejudices. Experts like Steve Rolls of the Transformed Drug Policy Foundation believe South Africa's cautious approach might help avoid issues seen in places like Thailand, where rapid legalization led to market chaos and backlash. This move could spark a domino effect across Africa. Countries like Malawi and Ghana have already made strides in legitimizing medical marijuana. Neighboring Eswatini, known for its high-quality Swazi Gold strain, might also reconsider its cannabis laws to remain competitive. What do you think about South Africa's decision to legalize cannabis? Do you believe this will lead to broader legalization across Africa? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. Your support helps us bring you more valuable information. South Africa's legalization of cannabis marks a significant shift in the nation's drug policy and sets a precedent for the continent. While challenges remain, this historic decision opens the door to new possibilities. Thanks for watching Snap Flash, and we'll see you in the next video.